We are out here working on Heel with Kona, our Australian labradoodle. Oh, it's so nice out. And what I love most is that for some reason, there's no gnats out today. And there's a nice breeze, just a really enjoyable day to train outside. All right, so what we're doing, I don't know, this is like the second or third session, maybe third. Basically, she's learning to stay at the left side and slightly behind. It's so simple, but it's hard for dogs because they want to lead. They want to be ahead. They want everything but to follow. So she pulled really hard on the leash despite going through another program. And now that Appa's trained, her sister, they want to be able to walk both dogs nicely without being dragged down. She keeps glancing back to the house.
Good.
In dog talk, she's saying, I'd rather be back inside than be in classroom.
She doesn't want to be right here because she can't see everything. So
Correct.
She either wants to wrap around and look, or she wants to go ahead and look. So she wants to be able to.
She wants to be the one leading. Where are we going? How fast are we going there? She's having trouble surrendering to following. But guess what? They all get it.
Looking pretty good.
So you'll notice when she's in the following position, which is heel, she's getting nothing but praise.
That's a good girl.
Perfect.
I like that.
When she moves out of heel, that's when the collar turns on and she's
Look
recalled
at that
back.
good girl, huh?
Simple.
Look at that good girl.
Oh my God, he's got orchids growing. That's so cool. This is our neighbor's driveway. So it's hard for them not to learn the position. It's hard for them to accept that they're following and not leading.
And we're stopping.
Good.
Baby.
Look at that awareness when we come to a stop.
That's good. Stay. Look at that. That's amazing. You're a good dog. That's a good girl.
And then we'll start to add the downs to the stays to make it more reliable. But for now, we're just working on holding still. That's hard.
Yeah.
Recall, back into heel. See how she immediately goes forward? Working on her back a couple inches. When you're walking your dog in heel, there's a big difference between walking next to and slightly behind and walking next to and slightly forward. Okay, if they're walking next to you and slightly forward, in their mind, they're still leading the walk. So you really want to make sure you're very clear with them that you want them behind you.
That's a nice turn, huh?
So anytime she goes forward, pressure on, held, guide back, release. It's hard work. It's hard work mentally more than physically, okay? She's getting a recall back. She comes to me because I'm not asking her to work. And there's a recall back to Josh. They all do that. And we saw it at Appa's Go Home. They'll pick the person not asking them to do something as an option to get out of working.
There's the mats.
So again, it's not
They
because
found
she
us.
likes me more. It's because I'm the one that's standing here. Maybe I'll pet her. Maybe I'll bring her inside. If I was the one asking her to heel, she'd be running to Josh. They all do it.
Yeah, you know, this is really looking really good. I think the knowledge is getting there
Yes.
for her. So, look, the cool thing about this is, as you can see, she pulls really hard.
Yes.
But I'm not using a leash right now.
Yep.
Let's see if her demeanor changes. Good girl, when I pick up the leash. I like that. Go for a walk.
So Josh is doing this because sometimes dogs will walk better without the leash. They have an old association to the leash that just means pull. A leash means pull to get them where they want to go. So literally sometimes we can pick up the leash and the dog will start pulling because they say, oh, now that the leash is on, I should pull. That's what gets me where I want to go. That's why we always practice both with the leash and without it. Nice job, Josh. She's looking good. So yeah, we'll just continue this work until heel is her default behavior when being on the walk. We'll transfer it over to me. We'll take it off property, and then we'll transfer it back over to our owners.
This will be a good angle to see. position. Look, see. Oh. See when her nose is behind my leg like that, but then watch, wait, she goes out. You might think that's good enough, but it's not. For me at least, look, see?
Yeah.
That all that is right there, that's a problem waiting to happen. I'm holding it together, but you know, I need her mind. She needs to hold herself accountable. Right now I'm holding her accountable. She'll hold herself soon. Look, there's some commitment. It's lack of commitment because you're not relevant enough. So I'm gonna make myself relevant by correcting. Good girl. Yeah. See where my leg is and where her nose is? That's better. Good. You see that she got frustrated with that leash
She
for
did.
a second?
She thought about
wants to
biting it.
look. It's like this with every dog. It's just she's had loads and loads of freedom, and now we're trying to take it away.
Yeah.
And she's like, and we're really saying stay right here. She's like, well, I can't see, half of my vision's taken away by your body. I don't like that. I want to be able to interact and do all that. And I'm saying, no, actually, I don't want you to interact. I want you to be passive and just follow. And so it's not that she's having trouble, like all the dogs that come through here. It's not like she's having trouble picking up when I'm laying down or understand what I'm saying. She's saying, I understand what you're saying.
I don't want to.
No. Because then that means you're controlling,
Yes.
and I want free control to roam and do whatever. So I don't know how old she is, but she's
Couple years.
She's old enough that she pretty much, it feels like she developed that way. So she developed with freedoms, like pretty heavy freedoms, being able to just go wherever, despite doors and leashes and things like, you know what I'm saying? She can't go walk through a wall, but if it's open and she doesn't have a leash on her, she's going, right? This is all new to her. Good girl. So I'm explaining to her, what I'm doing right now is I'm explaining to her exactly where to be. All right? And you see just micro attitude, like little expressions of it.
She's definitely suppressing her real self.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But she showed up like that because she already been through a
Yep.
program.
She's like,
So
oh, I
she
know
kinda-
this. This is
yeah.
training. I don't bark here. Right? But it comes out in little things if you know what you're looking for.
It doesn't seem, now listen, I don't know where or how she got trained, but from where I'm standing here, it doesn't feel like she knows, it feels like I'm teaching her
Brand new, from scratch.
when it comes to the heel.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like they used a visual cue,
Yes.
right? So I can drop my leash, my dog's looking where to be. So
Yeah.
they use their eyes, this little landmark is my leg. So they follow it, you see, right? No leash required. I think a lot of places they're training this.
Yep,
Stay
tight leash.
with the leash.
Yeah.
Don't let the leash get tight, kind of thing. So it feels like a comfortable walk, but you do this and then your dog's everywhere. So now when I pick up the leash, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to tell her to be here with little reminders. So if I put a little leash pressure on, she follows it, we're all good. But if I put a little leash pressure on and she doesn't yield to it, then we have a problem, right? So, good girl. Nice young lady, very friendly, just doesn't want to follow.
Yep.
Because she's already had a taste of the other end.
Yep.
And that's so common. Good. However, on the bright side, it's looking really good.
Yeah. She's coming right
Looking
along. She's
really,
right on
really good.
track.
Yes, she is. Look at her. She's really getting a hold of it. Hang
And she'll get a lot of practice because they might be here for 2 months.
Yes, that'll be plenty of practice.
They might be here for 2 months.
Well, that'll
We
be
don't
good for
know.
them. That'll
It
be good for
depends
the
on
dogs.
how.
Because what I'd
things
like
go
to do
with the
towards
house.
the end, once they're both where they need to be, is put them together a little bit. Would be cool, and work them together, the dogs, because they live together. So it would be good to see how they hike together, how they go on outings together, or like just work as a unit.
Yeah, they definitely get so excited to see each other in the play yard.
We'll see what they do. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Take them on hikes and that kind of thing. This is looking really good. She's snapping into it now. Good girl.
Little
You can
glance
see
at the
the-
house. Yep, if you know what you're looking for,
Wow,
it's
yeah.
there.
So sometimes when we talk, because what we see, I think people look at it and say, "What are they talking about?"
Yeah, it's a trained
When
eye.
you see every little thing, though, let me tell you something. It sounds like a gift, but then you can't unsee it.
I
So
know.
you can't go into public and all you see is
Yeah.
dogs disrespecting people and dogs
mean-
starting fights with each other just by glancing. and-
Owners or realtors, I bet they have a trained eye when it comes to houses. They probably
Exactly.
can only see what's wrong in a room.
Right. It's like hard to turn that part of your brain off. Good. Look at her. That was a catch right there. She caught an old habit, which is, by the way, her old habit is keep the anxiety going by circling and pacing. If I can't pace, I'll circle. She just stopped herself there. Seen her start to do it, start the process. She stopped herself good.
She's also at the stage you could probably ask for her down outside.
Oh, yeah. That was
I'll
nice.
step on the leash.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
She's a good girl. Okay.
Wow.
So somebody taught her that. I didn't teach her that, but that works. Good.
The reason I'm stepping on the leash is because without fail, the first time we ask dogs to DOWN outside at a distance, they try to recall. And it's because they're expecting what we've done in the past. They're not actually listening, they're following a pattern.
Okay, Kona, down.
See? What did I tell you?
No, Kona. No.
So he's gonna recall our bag. Oh,
honey, that's
good.
good.
What did I tell you? They all try to recall because they're not actually listening. They're just doing what they think you've asked in the past. So this is how they learn to actually start listening to the words.
Good. Stay. That's good.
This is her trying.
Very nice. Kona, down. Yeah.
Starts to recall, catches herself, and does what we ask. Good girl.
Wow. That's very awesome.
By the go home session, she'll be downing at a distance. No problem. Her sister had the same issue during training.
Good.
And at the go home session, she downed on verbal at a distance, off leash.
Lovely. All right, Kona. Break.
Good girl.
Talking about.
Nice job.